Okay, if you guys want to know how we are bringing our pets from the US to Japan, it is a long process. So not only do we had to get them tested, there is like it's FAVN test that had to be completed. They had to do 6 months or 180 days of quarantine, and they had to have rabies, like vaccine, like back to back. They have to be microchipped. Oh my gosh, there's so much medical into that. Well, we couldn't bring them with us because they didn't have their quarantine done. We could have brought them and let them stay on the military base here in Japan, which is only for SOFA members. However, that gets really, really expensive and we could not afford that. So thankfully that we had my mother-in-law keep them. And so we're going to travel back to the States and get them. They have to then go through, before we get onto a plane, within 10 days of arriving in Japan, we have to get them a USDA certified health certificate saying that they are good to go to come into this country. From there, we got to transport them. Okay, so they cannot travel more than 12 hours in an airplane. Okay, but here's the thing, is only for military members is this allowed to happen? So I know when we were looking at different flights, if we were not a part of the military, they could not fly. So that was really interesting to me. I guess that's kind of new. So 12 hours is the max. So we have to go to Seattle. Seattle to Tokyo is like 10 and a half hour flight. So we actually have to fly from Memphis to to Seattle. And we're going to stay the night in Seattle because they can't be on an airplane for more than 12 hours. So that includes your connection flights, and they cannot be connected more than 2 times. So we're going to stay the night in Seattle. And then from there, we're going to have to get from Seattle to Tokyo. At Tokyo, we have to have all this paperwork done. Like we had to do an advance notice, 40 days advance notice for the country of Japan. We have to get permission from that. We have to have all of that to go. So in between all of that, we now have to actually transport them. So we have to have cages that meet certain requirements. We opted out to go with a very expensive cage, a kennel, but I'm very happy with it because number one is we have a highly, highly anxiety-prone German Shepherd who has eaten through and destroyed every cage we've ever put her in. That includes like the hard plastic, that includes the metal. She will get out of anything and everything. And so we're taking these impact crates, I'll link it below, but we're taking these crates and these are like strong. They are not only safe as far as like if they were in a car accident, the impact of them. So that is good, but the best thing is that they also break down. So a lot of carriers did not break down that was allowed to go onto the airplanes because there's certain perimeters. You got to make sure that there's like well ventilation. You got to have water and food bowls. Like there's so many things when it comes to this. And so we decided to go to the impact crates, and we actually know somebody who has them. And so when we take care of her dogs, we get to actually see it in motion and see how well it is. And she also has a German Shepherd, and it actually keeps them in the cage. So, safe, but it also helps with her anxiety. So we're super excited about that. So we got the dogs. We're going to, have to make sure they have water and food and all that stuff. We have to make sure they go to the bathroom before they go on and when we pick them up, right? But what about the cat? Okay, so now we get a cat. The dogs are going to go into a temperature-controlled part of the plane underneath, not with us, because it cannot fit under our chair. So you can bring an animal that goes underneath your chair, like if you had a bag, and it fit underneath the, where your luggage or your handheld bag would go underneath your feet. So we're bringing our cat, and he is going to be in there, but what about bathroom? So now, I can't believe I'm looking about this, but right now I'm in the process of buying a collapsible travel litter box. This whole process has been so interesting. It's also been a little stressful, to be quite honest, but it is very, very complex to bring your pets over. And so honestly, if I would have known all this, I may have been like, hey babe, don't take this job. Don't put in for this job, because it has been so, so stressful. And, but I'm excited to get our pets back. And hopefully at that point in time, everyone will feel like we've moved in finally. My daughter said, we've only been on vacation. We haven't officially moved in. The house did not make it. We moved. All of our stuff being brought here did not mean that we moved. The jobs, the school, none of that meant that we moved in. It means we move in when I have my pets, when I have my dogs and my cat. So hopefully this will help settle everybody in nice and comfortably, and we'll be back together. Unfortunately, we'll still be missing my son, but he's a grown man now. So it's time for him to go and do his man things and finish college. So, all right, if you guys want to know more about traveling, living in Japan, any of that, please let me know, because there's a lot that I've learned in this process and I would love to share it with you guys. Hope you have a great day. Bye.